Hey guys, what's happening? Anthony Anderson coming to you from my furnace room, as you can tell. Testing out my couple skills that I probably don't have, my plumbing skills. For those of you that don't know, or might not even be familiar with something like this, I live in North Dakota out of all places, so we have basements, so that's where I'm at right now, my utility room. And I seem to have a sump pump with a mind of its own. What I mean by that is, it works, but I don't know if I trust it. So, right now pretty much all of our snow is melted. We had a bear of a last 2 months of winter anyway, where we had about 60 inches of snow within 2 months. And that's pretty much all gone, and it's really flat around here, which means like flood stages. So, I don't want to take a chance. So, as you can see here, I'm going to try not to drop my phone in the hole, but this is what a sump pump looks like. Just a hole in the ground with a pump in it. Pretty simple, but keeps basements from flooding around places like this. So, not really the hardest process ever, but honestly I've never done it before. I have my new pump here. Pretty simple actually, there's not much to them. And with the pump, what it is I have this piece of PVC pipe, and you probably saw it here once I flip things around. So I'm just gonna put this together and kind of fasten it on what I currently have going. I'm starting new with most of it, but there's the actual PVC piping that goes from the basement up through the house. Ooh. Oop. Maybe I'll plug that one right back in there. Got some good use out of that one. And here is the new one. And all I did was take this threaded piece, use some glue, glued the PVC to the threaded piece, put it into the actual pump. It's two of these. And then we'll put the new one back in. Well, seems to be functioning the way I want it. Now let's plug it in and see if it works. If it does, huh? Hearing something. It's quite a bit quieter than the old one, that's for sure. Whew. That is what not to do. Let's give that another try. Whew. All right, guys. Well, here we are back at the crime scene for anyone who just saw that. I'll show you what's going on here and what I think happened anyway. So, one sec. Either from the wiggling around that I was doing, or maybe just the power of the new pump. We got this little area here on top, which I really didn't mess with and probably should have. Doesn't seem to be real tight. So I think think the big problem here was I didn't quite fasten that before I decided to go live with it. So, yeah, then you end up with a utility room that seems to be wet. And one other thing that kind of happened too, that this happened before the old blowout, but this is what I'm using here for my light. And I have a brother who's an electrician. When I was telling him about doing this with this whole sump pump deal, and he advised me that everything would be fine. So now I have a electrical panel that seems to be a little wet with a light kind of exposed, and we're just gonna hope for the best. It's got a little float in there, that way water only goes up or supposed to and not down, which is kind of handy. It's not nice and tight where I tightened it before, but kind of dropped the ball on that one. Who would have thought? I suppose after years of this thing shaking around, why wouldn't it loosen up, especially when I'm messing with it? So now is that camera before I turn it live again this time. Good thing I got that manicure yesterday, so you guys can see my pretty hands are doing this, huh? Gloves got a little wet. Feeling a little bit better about that, but a little gun shy. We're gonna move you guys hopefully out of striking distance here. Dust off this guy. I don't think it got too wet. Or the outlet for that matter. Well, hold on, let's see what happens. Smell smoke glare. Gunshot here. It's quieter. Seems to be working. Might have a winner. See if you see here, you really see, but this PVC goes up through the rafters and out the house. I think it was last time I started messing with it when it all went haywire, right? Is that gonna happen again? Little float, and that's about it. It's a nice part about having a utility closet, I guess you could say. They're made like this to have sump pumps and things like that in. So once in a while you'll have something like this go on. But anyway, it's Anthony Hendrickson coming to you here live from my basement today, and a little sump pump project replacement. The other one wasn't bad, just I wasn't sure. It's been here since I moved in, and as you can tell, the house isn't brand new, obviously, so figured I'd swap it out. Got a little flood action going on here. Not technically a flood in town, but water table's high. We have possibly 6 to 10 inches coming through with the storm, so figured I'd swap this thing out. That way any moisture that comes in I don't have to worry about. So little learning experience. Obviously you want to make sure the old stuff that you're replacing is, or not replacing, but the old stuff that you're reusing, such as the PVC pipe throughout the rest of the house, make sure you tighten up those as well. That way you don't end up wearing half of the well water. Just one more day replacing the sump pump in the basement here. You know, making sure that we take advantage of all life's peak opportunities. So Anthony Hendrickson here, bringing peak experiences at you one day at a time. Have a good day. Bye-bye.